Let's go. Rah.
Praise, 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 praise.
Ah, ooh.
This was for the ancestors. This was for the ancestors.
Ah.
Praise, praise, praise. This was for the Most High. This was for the Most High.
Rah.
Praise, praise, praise.
Ah, ooh.
This was for the ancestors. This was for the ancestors.
Rah.
Praise, praise, praise.
Ooh.
This was for the Most High. This was for the Most High.
Rah.
Praise, praise, praise.
Ah, ooh.
This was for the ancestors. This was for the ancestors.
Rah.
Praise, praise, praise.
Ah, ooh.
This was for the Most High. This was for the Most High.
Rah.
Praise, praise, praise. This was for the ancestors. This was for the Most High. Praise, praise, praise.
This is for my ancestors. This is for the Most High.
Hey, we elemental beings.
Tribe, tribe, tribe. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome you all. Good morning. Step in and have a seat. Clear out a little space. I got Slime. He with me. So Slime riding with us. He, Slime, that's my shadow brother right there. He go and look into the shadows with me. Old Slime. So gonna pull some tarot energy out. Oracle energy out. You know how we do over here on Elemental Beings. We always encouraging and we always uplifting. This is what we do. And I got a message for us, divine beings, because we've been taking some blows. Been a lot of stuff going on in the spiritual community. We've been charged with a lot of things that we ain't have anything to do with, right? Morning Panda, most beautiful. So, yeah, spiritual community, divine ones, chosen ones, ascended masters, palladium star seeds, even reptilian spawns, whatever you may be, child of the Orisha, child of the Luau, son and daughter of Christ, son of Muhammad, son of Buddha, Gandhi, whoever you may be, right? We deal with spirituality, so the people that's truly spiritual, right, that's in touch with their things, you can feel judgment leaving. That particular people, see, it's like, they say, fail not to assemble yourself where the real church is assembling. And a lot of people find themselves shedding their cloak of religion and they find themselves being drawn up into a bigger collective. Well, that's the divine collective, right? So it's not to forsake your path or forsake your faith. It's to really understand what's happening. God never meant for man to exclude one another. God meant for man to be inclusive. We all fit together like a puzzle. Every culture, every nation. This is why we don't truly know who we are, because we don't take the time to associate cultures enough. It's secrets that they know that we don't know. It's secrets that we know that they don't know. Meanwhile, we sit and what we do, we continue to baffle ourselves by the order of religion. And no, I'm not against religion. I'm against religiosity. I'm for oneness. So this is what we represent. We rocking out over here. This is what we doing. We're about to go in. And I want to say this. If you don't do it, who gonna do it? And that's reality. I mean, if you mean to tell me, let me explain something. If it's at a point where a person who's really bound and trapped, right, and they go into a place where they're supposed to be free, and they can't get spiritual freedom there, we can't participate in those type of energies no longer, right? Because you got a gift that can unlock what binds me or help me get to what I need to know. The same way I got a gift or a word that can heal you and free you and unlock you. But if we continue to put our faith in things that don't truly have no proof of spiritual power. See, like, you can't preach a savior nowhere where there's no evidence of authority over death. And that's real. And that's for anybody, right? You could take that to the heightened center if you want. You can't preach to me no type of savior. You can't preach to me about how Allah saves, Buddha saves, Christ saves, or anybody saves. Less than you can show me where an authority over death was present. Because each of these people, they was a representation of walking authority over death. Buddha, Muhammad, Allah, all of these people, Jesus Christ, they walked in an energy that had authority over death. So if you're not going to show a person how to gain authority over death, then we can't really preach that nobody being saved. See, it's a time right now, like the Bible say, we're going to live like we in the days of Noah when the end really coming. That's where we at. So it's that back in that day, you know, people had a true faith. It speaks of people having power with the elements to call down fire, right? And that type of energy, right? People still do those types of things today. I know a few rainmakers myself. People, the ability to affect the rhythm, the algorithms, the elements. So it's time to start getting back to that understanding, back to that power, you know, back to that belief in the oneness. You listen to this. How you going, if I want to ask you a question, right? I pose this question. In the body of individuals, like the body of Christ would be known as the divine collective, is the same kind of semblance, right? But let me ask you something. If we all joint together and you're not fused with the same kind of energy that I am, then you become essentially a sickness to me, right? And whatever it is that we fuse together, right? So my thing is, why would we continue to put ourselves in situations where we fuse with people or energies that don't understand what God gave you? It's not going to never benefit you. It reminds me of Joseph, like I was speaking about. Joseph was a dreamer, y'all. He was born with the divine gift of divination. You know, the forbidden gift? Well, Joseph was born with that. Peep in your Bible, Genesis, it tell you in the 37th chapter. Joseph was born as a dreamer, so much so that when he walked up and they decided to unalive him, they was like, uh-oh, here he comes, he's a dreamer. Let's get him, let's bound him and gag him. And even Jacob rebuked him, his dad, and Judah, all of them, they rebuked him, right? He was a dreamer. Now imagine how you feel being intuitive or a psychic intuitive, or, you know, a spirit medium, or, you know, a person that can look at people and see things and look in the spirit realm and detect spirits. Your orthodox religion is going to have to reject you. And there's nothing wrong with that. See, it's not to go in the energy of being angry when you're rejected by orthodox ways and traditions, because God didn't give them the revelation. You got to realize, see, it's time to really move in the energy of the people you study about. People speak about Paul. You know, people who claim to be of faith, they like to throw these names up in your face. But if you really look at Paul, when Paul came, he had to go against the norms, like, right, is required you, because God gave him a gift. Nobody understood it. You know why? They didn't understand how a man that was rocking with the Gentiles had a gift that's supposed to lay with the Hebrews. They didn't get that. They was like, oh no. And then he used to kill the people of the faith that he stood for. He was said to have executed them, unalived them, right? So here you see a whole different type of energy at work. You see a man ascending into a level of understanding. That wasn't religion, y'all. That was spirituality, you watch. This is where we have to ascend. You have to ascend into a level of consciousness where you can begin to comprehend that everything do happen in spirit. See, when you become indoctrinated by a form of way of religion, you think you spiritual, but you really adhering to the rules and customs and the rituals and bylaws More, see, cause see, all right, I'm gonna give you a prime example. See, if I stand in a religious place and I'm dressed apart, I can hide all of my spiritual difficulties from the majority of people. It may be a few spiritual people that can detect my sickness, but this is the way that we have designed religion. We have designed religion in such a way where we can show up in costume, right? And it basically becomes a center of not really addressing the problem at hand, more or less avoiding the people's needs. Then you have those that really see that and they're working for better. And kudos to them. I have an elder myself who stands in that energy, that working towards something different energy. But nevertheless, if there's no true power there to cure my ailment, what makes you think a person that comes with a true ailment is going to want to be there? See, what happens with us is, what we don't realize when we trying to do any type of work for God, first thing is to be real with yourself. Trying to change who you are and be, proper etiquette and properly looking right and all that take away from where God really is, right? Let me explain to you how you could really make the power of God move. And if a person beg to differ with me, please holler at me. And inbox is wide open, right? I'm open for any type of disputes or whatever, like, because it ain't about that. It's about the truth, right? Now think about it. If we went to church and they said, okay, it's time for tithes and offerings. Okay, now what if everybody thought like this? Well, instead of getting money up, this is what we're going to do. We having tithes and offerings today. Everybody walk past the table, take a pen and a piece of paper, go back to your seat, write down your biggest sin on the paper. Everybody. No tithes, no money. This is the tithes and offerings today, right? This is how you make God move in the spot. Let me tell you, look. So you say, everybody take a piece of paper, write down your sin and hold it. Go sit back down in your seat. After everybody in the church do it, kids and everything, right? Then the preacher says, on the count of 3, I want everybody to scream their sin up. 1, 2, 3. And everybody scream their sin off the paper, right? That's how you make power happen. That's what make God move. That's why they say the energy of confession is real, because that unblocks energetic perspectives. You can move forward around that, right? So, I'm digging in, but let's go ahead and do what we came to do. I just want to say again, if you don't do it, divine being, ain't nobody else going to do it. God gave you the gift, right? God gave you the gift. You the one with it, right? And it centers around your intention. I don't care how weird you seem. I don't care what it seems to be like to nobody else. God gave you a gift, right? That gift is beyond the comprehension of most of your elders, right? And that's the truth of it. So the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can move forward. So what we looking like? Let's get some energy out. I'm going to get a 3-card spread. We're going to clarify. Okay, out pops the Chariot, right? Okay, that's a good card. Boom. We got a Knight of Swords in reverse. All right. Okay. And we got the 7 of Pentacles upright. Let's get some clarification. See what we're talking about. See, can I talk to y'all? See what Spirit got to say to y'all. Okay. Let's stop there. I'm going to clarify. Chariot is being clarified by the consciousness, right? So that's what we basically speaking about. With this Chariot, on a Chariot, it shows like, it's normally a white and a black horse, right? This one is kind of a different Chariot card. But nevertheless, the Chariot is a simulation of a man's or a woman's light side as well as their dark side. And when you see the Chariot and it's upright, it's a person that's establishing a certain balance in life. And in that light, in that alignment and in that balance, it brings in blessings. So the Chariot is like a energy that's going, but it's also it's considered an energy that's coming. It's like a great manifestation energy in the Chariot. Like when you see the Chariot, it's kind of like I could say dues being paid, right? Because there's a wounded warrior on the Chariot oftentimes. Like even on this card is a wounded man, right? But nevertheless, It shows you bringing yourself into balance even after being wounded, right? And a lot of it has to do with consciousness, right? Now the footnote on this, I don't have the author's name, but I'm gonna clarify with the footnote anyhow. The frequency of conscious supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multi-dimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. Wow. You know, so that's like, I was speaking about Joseph, and he had a multi-dimensional gift, right? Now, many of us, we have multi-dimensional gifts, and this card speaks of you ascending into a place where you begin to understand that this is the reality about you. Like, you do have this gift. I know it could be contrary, and like I said, nowadays God is really blessing us with gifts that the elders don't understand, but the elders don't understand that the evil that was unlocked either. Like, you know, when the river Euphrates dried up last spring, I believe, or might have been spring before last, it unbound a lot of different big time entities, energies. The river Euphrates, they was bound by it. It dried up, so that means that they got free. This is why the world is such a chaotic place now, right? And God is fusing people with multi-dimensional aspects of gifts. Like, it's like they speak of Christ being a conscious state of mind. It is, you know, it definitely is, because it took a lot. Christ had to ascend in his mind, just like Buddha, just like Muhammad. They had to ascend to be able to understand even purpose at that level. Your brain has to be conditioned from a child to a man. You have to develop a consciousness that can comprehend, okay, my gift is multi-dimensional. Like, it's not just something that resonates in this realm. I exist as a multi-dimensional being. That's what this chariot to the consciousness is being clarified by. You know, it's showing a divine being in the essence of bringing it together. You know, bringing some understanding. Could be a gift that you had your whole life since a kid. Now it could be powerfully manifesting in you because the conscious level is raising. You know, imagine I'm weird because I can see down the street and around the corner, so to speak, and I feel like I'm the only one that got this gift. But then as the planet begins to warm up, I realize, oh, it's 5 other people that can see down the corner and around that can see down the street and around the corner just like me. That's what's happening in the world. So it's best to embrace that kind of energy as not to be stagnant, as about like, you can't wait for the energy of understanding to be your goal point. You can't keep trying to relate to people who know, because that's going to put you in the energy of defense. That's going to put you in the energy. That's how negativity wins. You got to move with the energy that, look, okay, I see what I see. I understand what I understand. Maybe a person will get it, or maybe perhaps they won't. And then you move in that energy, and that's putting you in the energy with the collective. This is where our blessings align. When we move in the energy of knowing, see, the collective don't need people that move in the energy of doubt. That's why it takes for you to study. Really study and read. You got to be about what you live about. Got to be what you be about. That way, when you show up in the collective, you show up strong. People look at you that have gifts, and they can say, all right, that's strength. I can hold that. I can dig that. I can move with that. I can resonate with that. That's when you're moving strong in the collective. Now, when you got doubt about what it is that you're doing, doubt moves you into the energy of negativity unwillingly. You don't mean to do it, but you're there anyway. Because there's too many things that dwell with doubt. They link hand in hand with doubt. All right, and then you got this Knight of Swords in reverse. So we're going to clarify that and see what's going on. Okay. Knight of Swords in reverse. It's clarified by discernment in reverse. All right. So, you know, what I see with this energy, this could be a Libra. It could be a Gemini. It could be Aquarius. Spirits say super strong Aquarius energy, right? Now, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius. Note that. This could be you. But I'm gonna give you what the card is saying. What the cards are saying. The Knight of Swords in reverse is an energy that is moving wrong, but in a way of, it's like moving wrong by default. It's not like a person saying like, I don't feel like it's an energy of a person that's saying, I got wrong intent. It's a person that probably wants something right, but they moving wrong to get it, right? Because the discernment is off, right? Discernment. Read the footnote. I wish I had the author. Oh, I do. Okay, this is the author. Sacred Geometry Oracle, and the author of this deck is, I don't know, but it says Sacred Geometry. I'm gonna give honor where honor is due. Now, nevertheless, discernment. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance, right, and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. So that's showing me that this person right here is kind of moving in the energy. Maybe not you, but somebody in your energy. They basically moving in a way where they want what they want, and this could be at the cost of anybody. With the Knight of Swords being in reverse, like I said, the Knight of Swords in reverse, it screams to me from my soul that it's not necessarily a person that has a wicked rhythm. They can actually want something really good, right? But they don't know how to move to get it. The Knight of Swords is a person that moves against the wind. Like, so this is definitely an energy that's going against the grain. Like, this could be somebody that's kind of like having different like spiritual warnings like within them to not try to win at the cost of other people, right? To not be so willing to just move in the energy towards other people where it cost them and it hurt them, but you still keep doing it, and you still like, and then you justify by saying, but no, because I'm this person, I'm supposed to have that. No, that hurts people. Like that really does. Like, you can't, if you know that you want something good, that's going to lead you to, if you really want something good, because I'm feeling like somebody wants something good in their heart, but you may not understand the power lies in your intention, right? You could want that good in your heart. That's a small part of desire or wanting. Now, your intention is going to scream volumes, and that's going to be the true magnet. So if you're willing to, so to speak, shit on one person to get to another place, that's going to show up. And it begins when you make a pattern out of it, where you're not equally giving and taking with nobody. You basically just trying to shit on somebody to get where you're trying to go at. There's no evidence of equal give and take with a Knight of Swords in reverse, because they moving against the grain. It's an energy that's in your energy, and it's because their discernment, their balance doesn't. One thing about discernment in reverse, it doesn't consist of compassion or wisdom. And I always say, a man that leads with compassion, right, even in his error, God can give him grace and extend the bridge, because his intention is laced with compassion. When you got true compassion, it's room for errors, because your errors, they be real, they be accountable errors. You be like, oh man, look, all right, I understand. Now, when your discernment is off, you effectively don't have no compassion, and your words don't hold wisdom. When a person is moving in the Knight of Swords energy, I'm gonna show you how it looks. Spirit just gave me this. You ever saying in person and they be like, I don't like so and so, and you be like, I don't know why you don't like so and so, and they be like, I don't know, I just don't like it. Whole time spirit moving against it. Even with you be like, they be like, I don't like so-and-so. And in your mind, you might be like, but so-and-so chill. Oh, they all right, they ain't a bad person. So your spirit will lead you to be like, well, why you don't like so-and-so? And then they be like, I just don't like them, right? That's Knight of Swords in reverse, lack of compassion and wisdom. To whereas though a person words, they ain't even making sense as to why they moving the way they moving. They can't even justify why they moving the way they moving. Then when they do justify, it be something dumb like, well, because that belonged to me, or because that was owed to me, or because that's mine. Just because something belongs to you don't mean you get to move around in the universe and destroy everything in your path to get to it. Some things better left walked away from, because that create karmic debt for you and other people's lives and all of that. Yeah, God might have gave you something, but if you ain't treat it right or do it right, God gonna take it from you. And that's just, especially if it's a human and God chose this person. See, and that's what happened with many of you that's connected to this network. You became unequally yoked, like many of us, with people that took you for granted. And when God snatched you away from them, it becomes such a serious backlash. And many of you are actual marriages or contracts or spiritual unions or whatever. So people feel the backlash of it, right? And what's not being realized is it's not you that moved you. It's God that moved you. Because the minute that, see, let me explain something to y'all from a spiritual aspect. You know what breaches spiritual contracts and unions? When you effectively allow yourself to go in the energy of hate so far that you purpose death for your counterpart, people think it's adultery. It ain't that. It is that, in the biblical sense. But as far as with God and spirit, when hate drives you to conjure death, that's the separation point. God won't allow that to happen in the divine union. When God give two people any type of soul union or tie, if God, the energy of God and soul energy, it fused this. So sometimes it is two people, demons working it out. No more than they angels working it out. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go in a soul tie. But there's one thing about a soul tie. God allows it to happen. You could say what you want. You could say the ancestors, or you could say these people's spirit. You could do whatever you want. But if two people have a soul connection, it's because the divine ordained it, right? And soul connections and twin flames, they last the least. People be unaliving one another in these, unaliving themselves. See, twin flame connections ain't no light or no easy, soft buttercup business like these. Oh, I got my twin flame. Yo, twin flame, life or death energy. You know why? Because people mirror one another, every aspect. And most times out of 10, if one don't ascend, one gonna go and one gonna get left. In every instance, spirits say that's the options of it. When you dealing with a true twin flame connection, pen this. You either going to ascend together, or somebody going to ascend and somebody going to descend. And the contracts, when you purpose death to one, there's no more contract. No type of marriage certificate you sign. The 3D don't hold up to the 5D. So, and this for somebody who married, and I'm not giving out no bad advice. I'm giving out spiritual authoritative advice. You could be married to a person by law. If they send death towards you, you can walk away and start a new life. I don't care who name on what paper. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. The energy of God is not going to you're going to become protected against that person. You got to leave a person like that. You have to. If a person conjure death and throw it towards you, if you forgive them, you agree to the energy of death. That's a spiritual agreement. If you know a person assigned death to you and you tied to them, right? If you don't hear God's call for you to move, that's you moving in the energy of lack of understanding. When the person sends death at a counterpart, divine, whatever, contract is breached. And that person not only is the contract breached, that person got a spiritual right to call in every defender, any energy they got, all their prayers can be righteously and defend. They can be stamped and sanctioned by the energy of the divine. And that's how unions work. And that's reality. So when you're dealing with a person that's moving in the energy of lack of compassion and wisdom and willing to win at all costs and sacrifice anybody, look, and I can understand sometimes we don't have the money to go, but everything starts as above, so below. You don't have to leave physically first, leave spiritually first. If you bound in a situation, because you got to guard yourself. Understand, all the sicknesses, they manifest in the spiritual aspect first, and then they leak out. So it's ways to leave a person, and, you know, it's ways to separate yourself from a person even when you can't necessarily remove yourself physically. You don't have to remain bound. You don't have to remain bound spiritually at all, right? Because that's a matter of your will. This is a matter of strengthening your will. You don't have to allow anybody, because when we do that, we subjugating ourselves to a person, right? And you don't have that. Yeah, we might be forced to be in the same quarters. I might ain't got no money. You man ain't got no money. But that doesn't mean that spiritually I can't gain strength. Look, we ain't laying around. I ain't doing that right now. I'm doing this over here. If you ain't doing this, we just in here then, you know. And bump your fist. And that's not bad advice. That's advice of wisdom for people who are suffering this type of situation. You have to unbind yourself spiritually. You know, manifestations come from energy. So a better life, in order to produce a better life, before you even produce the better life, you got to produce an energy center that navigates you towards a better life. So it's like if I'm connected to something and I'm this close to it, and I can't really get away from it, I got to do like this at least. I got to come away from it spiritually so that I can grow. And then the situation can change. Because a lot of people's situations don't change because we stay bound spiritually. Next, though, we got the Seven of Pentacles. So that's a better energy. I'm going to clarify it. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles out here. We got transition. It came out in reverse. Let's read transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transformation to occur with ease and grace. Wow. So when I see the Seven of Pentacles to the transition in reverse, it's kind of showing me somebody that's you may be continually investing in you being stagnant, right? I done it, right? I'm gonna talk about me and I'm gonna let somebody experience reflect from me and let y'all draw from this energy. I invested in my own stagnant. I had a Seven of Pentacles in life to the transition in reverse. I'm explaining to you what kind. I had, when I was a little younger, I was very artistic. I used to do music. I used to do a lot of things. I was very gifted. Still am, but when I was young, you know, I was very into it. And I was under an occult attack by a spirit. So this was a spirit of like laziness, procrastination, self-sabotage, real generational type of nasty energy. So every time I would get like some wind beneath my wings, and I would just have this energy of like getting lax or being local minded or being all of this. And then I would end up being with a particular type of person when I'm in this energy, right? And then I would get by that and I would go on to the next project. And then I began to notice it's always the same kind of person that bear the same kind of spirit in my manifestations, right? And then I said, then as I begin to ascend, I said, well, perhaps it's a spirit that I'm dealing with, because these people, they end up being too much alike. And they always a contributing factor to my own laziness, my own self-sacrifice. You know, I would have people around me that would watch me come undone, and they would enjoy the ride, you know, so to speak. And it became my Seven of Pentacles to the transition in reverse. I continually tried to build, but I didn't realize I was investing into my own place of stagnancy. It's like I was running in a circle, y'all. Coming right back to the same thing. And then now, as I look around in life, it becomes a constant reminder that, you know, my manifestations are stronger and different because it's not that spirit around or that person with that spirit. They're no longer around. See, when you truly get the Seven of Pentacles and you get the transition upright, as you working and you look around because a lot of times spirits, they manifest in people. So when you look at your life and all your failures, spirit says, look at that person that's in the background, but they got the spirit. Now look at the spirit. It's the same spirit. Maybe a different person. They could be short, they could be tall, they could be fat. But in every instance of your manifestation where there's a blockage, look at the person in the background and see the spirit that was vibrating with all of them, right? Because when I begin to look at it like that, I begin to be able to identify the spirit at work. And it's like, oh, I'm not letting the spirit be around me. No matter what, even if it show up in the people that's close to you, when you're aware of a spirit and what it's doing to you and how it's attacking you, you become so formidable just being aware of it, right? You begin to be a spiritual warrior just by being aware of it. See, some people walk around and say, ain't nothing wrong with me. You can't be that ain't nothing wrong with me person. You gotta really know what's wrong with you, yo. What's on me that make me be this way? Once you identify it, when it show up, you more formidable. Like, all right, this is a spirit. Whether it be in a person or even it be in your energy, in you. Even if it flows out of you, right? Because we all balanced and tempered by light and darkness. I don't care how much of a holy roller you are. I don't care how many times you make salat every day. You effectively are affected every day of your natural existence by two energies, what we consider good and devil, God and evil. These two energies, they always present, no matter what. So unless you balance them, you will have evil coming out of you and you won't even be aware of it. Why? Because you don't know it. You ain't done no shadow work. Shadow work is so that we can look at the evil inside and see why we even attract the spirits that we attract. Why do I keep on attracting this person? Because believe it or not, Seven of Pentacles with the transition in reverse, I'm going to be honest, that could be us in the way we turn people into monsters and savages. Always remember that. Every relationship that went wrong, it wasn't because their spirit was wrong. It's because their spirit was wrong and your spirit became wrong. You understand? Sometimes you're a powerful individual. So when a person wrong you, is 1 cent. Then when you wrong them back, it's amplified because of who you are. So a lot of the relationships accept the accountability that you was the reason. We was the reason that they became the monsters that they became. Because the monsters that we became. It's what come out of you. It's to see, we all be looking around for the karmic, right? And then we'll never sit back and be like, but that was karmic of me. Like, I was karmic. Or I am karmic, you know, or I got karmic tendencies. No, we always look, boy, them karmics. You know, negativity is very tricky, man. Like, I was, you know, like, God revealed to me my purpose, and I was talking to High Priestess about it, really our purpose. And you know, it's like this, it works like this. If you're a person that's watching me, and you say, all right, I can resonate with him, all right, that's fine. But if you're a person that say, Oh, he got tarot cards. I read the Bible, and that ain't right. My job is done. Yo, I'm here to invoke spiritual awareness. If I drive you back to your Bible, if you watch me and get off here and be like, let me go in the Bible and find out where y'all supposed to read, my job is done. It's not my job to make you understand my purpose or my calling. My job is to invoke spirituality in you. And if you got to question me to become more spiritual, that's fine. If you got to tap into your powers to feel like you need, that's fine. Whichever way, my job is done, because that's why God put me here. This is what God got me to do. This is the name of our mission, to do what we do. I don't expect you to understand it. No more than they understood Paul. No more than they understood Joseph and his divinations, right? No more than they understood Daniel. Daniel also, a master diviner. Same gifts. Same gifts I move in. They put Daniel up against great magicians because Daniel was tapped in the source. They was tapped in the low vibration. Remember King Nebuchadnezzar? Remember he had a dream? He had a dream in the Bible, y'all, right? It's a good energy, right? It's a good story. Very relevant to nowadays. King Nebuchadnezzar, he had a dream. And this dream, it was very subliminal, right? It was actually King Nebuchadnezzar's gift at work. But because he lived in such a way, he didn't know he was gifted. He was gifted with dreaming. He just couldn't interpret it. So he dreamt the dream. And he knew it was a dream from source, right? You know when you get something from source, I don't care how demonic a person play around and be, they know when source jump in, right? So Nebuchadnezzar says, all right, bring me all these tricksters around here, these magicians, bring them. I need them to interpret my dream. So all of them gathered up and ran to Nebuchadnezzar because they wanted that fame and popularity that comes with reading, right? Especially without no integrity, that make you real famous. When you a reader, when you a tarot reader that get out and just do anything and be all that, man, you be so famous, right? But see, those are people that ran to King Nebuchadnezzar and he raised the stakes on them. And this is a message to a karmic reader. You know what? Once he drew him in, he was like, all right, now, if you can't tell me my dream, you getting ready to die. Or you ready to be unalive. Less than you can tell me my dream, you unalive. Then they begin to be like, oh, no, we don't really got no way. The demons that they consulting with, they ain't there now because it's real. So you know what happened? He called Daniel. And Daniel said, oh, I already... And he put Daniel under the same rules. I ain't telling you nothing. Tell me what my dream was. Daniel told him because Daniel was tapped in the source for real. Nobody understood that gift. The church nowadays wouldn't understand Daniel's gift, nor Joseph's gift. So don't expect them to understand your gift. Seven of Pentacles, see your transition upright, is the energy that we want to be in, y'all. Okay? Work on yourself and invest in things that's going to be conducive to your change, right? To you understanding what way is God really moving. A lot of people don't really know which way God moving. You got to feel it. You got to feel your way out. You want to, don't let people confine you to the part of the Bible that forbid people to move in the gift. Go to the part of the Bible where they moved in the gift with the authority, right? Like all of this stuff is in the Bible. They got the disciples using cards, tarot energy. They casted lots. Remember? Look it up. Don't be so ignorant and don't be so quick and judgmental, right? What we do over here can help you out and help your soul. What people like us do. Help your soul. And one of the main reasons why is because I want to explain something to you. When you're dealing with spiritual authority and true power, it comes from the life you live in the proximity of spirit. Now, when a person lives a certain way every day and they honor a certain principle every day, they become strong in that. And this is why we live our life and a consistency of spirit, mediumship, right? So we not looking where sometimes pastors and ministers, they just got too many problems to actually see into the realm where we see at. And I don't knock them for it. It's not to make light of them. People was here to serve their purpose in a generation, but in this on-to-war generation, yo, we need a substance that can really, really move and groove with the elements, like how Elijah and Moses and all them did. We gotta really be grooving with the divine, like that sun, moon, and stars energy. You know what Joseph told his brothers that made them hate him and ultimately want to unalive him? Yo, he had dreams, right? He woke up one dream. He was bold. He said, basically, I had a dream last night. And in my dream last night, he got 11 brothers, y'all. This is what he tell all of them. And his father. He said, in my dream last night, oh yeah, the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars all made obedience unto me. You know what that means? He told them, I'm the head of all 12 tribes. He said, the 11 stars, which would be the 11 tribes of Israel under him, and the sun and the moon all made obedience to him. Meaning he predicted the future. Do you know that made his father rebuke him and made his brothers decide to unalive him? That's a gift that he had. God is bringing those type of gifts back online. So don't run from it. And don't run to a place that draws you away from your faith. Like, don't stand on the side with the people that condemn energies like Christ and all that. Don't do that. Ain't no future in that. You ain't never heard Christ condemning Orisha, and you ain't never heard Orisha condemn Christ. So if you know, and I say that because that's dealing with ancestors, right? And I want to show you how the ancestors and the energy of God, they work hand in hand. Don't let the devil ever pull you into a place where you knock deities of any sort. And we ain't here for that. If a person got a deity, allow them to have that deity. That's that person's faith. That's their culture, their lineage, right? So when somebody come along and knock deities, don't be on the side of that. They got the brother that was knocking Jesus, and now look at him. I ain't gonna lie, I look at him and be like, look, I ain't never had nothing to do with nothing. And they try to, what's essentially happening with that brother, I show disappointment in the brother, because a lot of us were interested in what he had to say. I know I was, because he clearly had a gift of repness, like this guy. You know, all y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't say his name. But he began to knock Jesus. See, when he was talking about the Anunnakis and all of that, he was on the right path. He was moving, and what happens is we get prideful. We get this gift. He had a gift to see things, understand things. He let pride go to his head, and then now he attacking the energy of Jesus. And see, he let the devil attack him and went up against the devil and lost, because the devil knows, right? They say the brother went up against a Christian scholar. Man, that man ain't got nothing to do with being nobody Christian scholar. That man is a magician of the highest caliber, if I ever seen it. They do the brother in the magic trick, all the term down. But I want you to realize, when that brother that they tore down, that they turned down all over the internet, when he was in his purpose, they couldn't do that to him. They had to draw him into a place where he went against the universe in such a way that you don't do. You never go against the universe and knock deities, especially not a deity like Christ. That's not going to be good for you in no way. Or, that's like you don't want to knock no deities. Mokash, Paran, Legbal, Yamoja, Kuan Yin. I'm just giving the deities some names. I'm shouting them out. Neptes, Petar. You don't want to be a person that stands in this world and go against people's deities. Those are energetic perspectives. They are very real. They are very, it amazes me how we do that. You don't have authority to challenge a deity. And if you think you do, you and your thing the wrong way. I'm telling you that. You don't have the authority to stand over there and challenge the luau or the orisha. And you don't have an authority to stand over there and challenge the energy of Christ, Jesus, Yeshua, whatever. Nobody who gave who any authority to do any of that. And the only people that suffer when we do that is the people that stand in between, on the fence. The people that's blind, right? You know, the 5%ers, they say 85% of the people is the masses, they deaf, dumb, and blind. I always like that energy from Clarence 13X, right? I always like that. You know, and they say 15% of the people, what they say, 85% of the people deaf, dumb, and blind. Then they say 10% of the people, they know them as bloodsuckers of the poor. The ones that know the right thing, but they hold back the truth. Like, that's the 10%. Then they say the 5%ers is the poor righteous teachers. Poor righteous teachers. Man, I always loved them guys, man. And I've always been fascinated with world cultures and people's deities, right? Very seldomly do I see the demonic in what my predecessors see the demonic in. I actually see the energy of God in many things, right? And I also understand that even in the form of devil is a form of divine evil, right? When you relegate it down to where did Satan come from? He came from God's hand, right? So it's not for us to walk around and despise or detest any energies. We don't have that authority. It's for us to obtain balance of ourselves while we're here and fight our damnness to do that, right? Because in true balance, you begin to understand your lightness, your darkness. You want to pass on greatness. The way to do it is to assess what's really dark about you and not just continue to move on in it and move on in it. You know how, like, we have generational things and we just go and go and go. We never check them. So that's where we at. I'm going to tap out of here. I love you all, man. I really appreciate you all's energy. And I love being with you. Pray that something resonated or someone got something from it. We are available for, live sessions, tarot readings, or, just advice, just check in, maybe you need some help along the way, whatever the case may be. We here and we available. So until next time, God bless and Ashe.